wanted to address a question that really comes up quite a bit, and that is, hey, should I join a full-time commercial firm, meaning a full-time commercial firm that does not do residential real estate? First of all, let's back up. Let's take a look at some of the investors and what they are looking for in commercial real estate companies. It used to be that a lot of these companies, these firms, the REITs, the real estate investment trusts, the developers, when they're selling their big homes, that they developed in the big mixed-use projects, used to be that they would really look for only a full-time commercial brand name that wasn't doing residential real estate, because they felt comfortable with that. I think over the years that's kind of changed a little bit, because so many great commercial agents have gone to residential companies or gone out and are part of boutique firms. So I think that's changed a little bit, but in general that has been the case in the past. Now let's look at the inside of these commercial firms. And the inside of these commercial firms, you usually have lots of support, lots of help. Remember, they don't do any residential real estate at all, so they won't allow that. And you get most of the tools, or pretty much all the tools that are available out there to help you, like CoStar and LoopNet and all the tools that you're probably familiar with and that you might need to succeed in commercial real estate. That's all going to be given to you. You're also going to have access to these in-house proprietary proposal packages. And what those are is, a proposal is a presentation. So when you go see a seller, you need to bring a presentation and do what we call proposals. So you put all the income, the expenses, all the information into their system, and then it creates these really nice elaborate proposal packages. Most of these companies have their own in-house proprietary software that does these things. So you get access to that too, depending on the office. Now, usually what they have is a senior and a junior. And the seniors are usually looking for, the presidents do most of the hiring, the CEOs and managers do most of the hiring for juniors to put underneath the seniors. And they're usually looking for somebody that's making about $100,000 a year, has a little bit of experience, knows what they're doing, kind of just needs some more additional help and some guidance, and wants to really take it to another level. That's really what they look for. They don't want to spend a lot of time on training the basics, cap rates, and how to evaluate properties and how you find business. They don't really want to do all that in most cases. In some cases, they'll pull people right out of college before they've gotten the bad habits of residential real estate, and they'll train them up sometimes doing that. But the majority of them are looking for people who've got a little bit of experience, so keep that in mind. They also have, here's kind of how the compensation works and the structure is, the senior does all the, gives the grunt work. The senior does the high level stuff, the appointments, the proposals, the things like that. They give the grunt work to the junior, and the junior does all the stuff, and it certainly makes lots of calls and is on those phones quite a bit. And depending on the senior-junior relationship will depend on how much training and support that junior gets from that senior. A commission comes in, let's say it's a $100,000 commission, and in general, half of it goes to the company, because the company's paying for all the tools and the support for all of those agents. So they're going to take about half usually, and then that leaves the other half that goes to the senior. The senior then takes and divvies up that commission, the rest of the commission, to the rest of the team, depending on who got involved and who did what, and the length of time on their team and all of those things. So at the end of the day, a junior is not going to get a whole lot of the commission that comes into the company that was generated, but they technically should be getting some good training and support and tools for free, okay? So that's kind of how that works. Now let's look at the residential company. A residential company is a residential real estate firm that launched a commercial division, so now they're doing both, so they're residential. Okay, so there in those offices, you're going to get, each office is independently owned and operated. So first of all, some of them, it just depends. Some of them are going to have a lot of structure. I've seen a little bit of everything here. I've seen the companies that have a lot of structure. I'll walk in and they'll say, hey, we have a policy, residential agents doing on the residential, commercial agents doing on the commercial, and we want our residential agents learning about commercial to be underneath a commercial real estate agent, and they have a lot of structure behind it. And then you have the complete opposite of that, which is, hey, we have no policies, we have no procedures for residential agents doing commercial or commercial doing residential. Hey, that's why you're here. We need your help, and we don't have any particular structure at all. And then I have everything in between, okay? So it just depends on how they're operating. Typically, you're going to have a split of 70-30, 80-20, 90-10 at those kinds of firms. but you are going to be able to, you're going to have to go out and get all the tools on your own usually. The CoStars, the LoopNets, you've got to go out and pay for all of that usually on your own. And then the training that you get and the support that you get from that individual office will just depend on the office. You know, some offices, like I say, I've got really good training in place for the commercial agent in their office. And then I've seen a lot that don't have any at all, and then again just a little bit in between. So the training support really depends on the individual office there. Okay, so those are the differences between the two different firms and the two different types of firms that are out there, and what your options are with that. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Go to our website. We've got lots of other videos there that you can watch and check out. I did a podcast with Jim Wong, the president of Sperry, recently, and we've got a podcast there on what they look for in hiring their junior agents. And it was a great podcast, but I know that we talked just about that for sure on that podcast, so you can get some more information on this directly from there. And it was a great podcast. It was about 50 minutes long, so we talked about quite a bit, but you could also learn quite a bit about him and his company and the full-time commercial firms in general, as well as reach out to me anytime. It's really difficult for me to answer some of these questions that you guys are sending in to us when I don't know, the specifics about you and what you're trying to accomplish and your experience and your background and things like that. So I'm happy to have a conversation with you that's specific to you, because I'm here as a resource for you. I want to help you, okay? So if you need some help, reach out to us anytime, and I'm happy to chat with you and get more specific with your particular needs, all right? So thanks for watching. Hope this was valuable for you, and we appreciate your time very much. Get out there and go get your unfair share, you guys. Make it a great day.